The main things about the Apache that are impressive are the fire control radar, known as longbow. That's the protocol it uses, hence the Apache longbow. And that fire control radar has multiple modes, whether it's air targeting mode, so you can be your own air traffic and see other aircraft out there, and ground targeting mode. There's also a terrain profile mode for poor weather, so you can map the terrain in front of you. It's a very capable bit of kit. It's always being upgraded, and indeed when we get the AH-64 Echo, the new Block 3, there'll be upgrades software-wise to that, and also range capability increases and things like that. The optics as well, so that's already been through an upgrade. So before 2009 we had Generation 1 forward-looking infrared, or FLIR as it's known. I was in one of the squadrons actually that took the Gen 2 FLIR, the modernised FLIR out into Afghanistan, basically creating a picture through heat differences. Most people in the general public would have seen it through police camera action, they see it on the police helicopters. Added to that, we've got the weapon systems on board. 30mm cannon, that fires out to just over 4 kilometres, fires 625 rounds a minute, so you're looking at around 10 30mm shells a second. The shell itself, when it lands, acts like a grenade, and it doesn't just go in like a normal bullet, it actually frags as well, so it has that capability when it lands. Added to that, we've got rockets. Specific to the UK Apache, we use Canadian rocket variant 7, CRV-7 rockets, and we have multiple warheads on that, whether that be point detonating or indeed the flechette. And in essence, the whole rocket, instead of having explosives on board, has a canister in the front with 80 tungsten darts. So they deploy at a certain time in the rocket's profile and continue 80 tungsten darts all going towards the target. When we move on to guided weapon systems, we have our Hellfire missile, which has either a laser-guided or a radar-guided variant. And within the missile itself, there are different warheads, so anti-building, anti-personnel, anti-vehicle, and the crew will select those as appropriate.
The Apache is deemed as crash-worthy. It has two of everything, so we call that redundancy. Also, they are separated by space, so if you have a second computer, it will be in a different place to the first one. So that allows the aircraft to then operate on only one of those systems. The helmet monocle that you see, what it does is it projects the flight symbology and any limitations into your eye, so that it allows us to remain looking outside of the cockpit at all times rather than having to look inside.
On the front of the nose we have a laser that fires out laser energy, and that gains range information, and you can also guide the laser guided Hellfire with that. We've also got a laser spot tracker, so in essence you can sense other laser energy and lock onto that. So if you were on the ground as infantry and you were lasing a target, we would be able to find out what that laser code is, punch that into the aircraft, and then our optics would slew straight to where that laser energy was pointing. Likewise, we tend to fight in pairs, so if the other aircraft is lasing something, you can do a very quick optics handover, so it's a very quick, unambiguous way of finding a target. And then finally, we've got the defensive aid suite. Can't really talk too much about that, but in essence, it's a very, very capable bit of kit. And again, like everything else, is continually upgraded as the threats also upgrade themselves.